Welcome to part 18 of an hour of fun facts. Without hesitation, let's get started right away. Sonia Penn is a fascinating artist who uses the human body as a canvas for her stunning artworks. Her drawings and figures are a unique exploration of body beauty, creating pieces that celebrate the diversity and individuality of people. If you are someone with a little more body hair, you could be her ideal canvas. With a bold and creative approach, Sonia transforms skin into a work of art, challenging traditional beauty norms. Imagine the impact of wearing a masterpiece on your own body. DIY and Mr. Who the Boss teamed up to build the world's largest functional iPhone. This gigantic device features an 88-inch OLED touchscreen, an aluminum casing that gives it a sleek look, and multiple cameras with flash that allow it to capture high-quality images. However, the most ironic thing is that despite its iPhone-like appearance, this monumental gadget runs on an Android operating system. Cootin Kid is a talented artist who combines juggling with music, creating a stunning visual and auditory spectacle. One of his most amazing acts is the stunt he performed on a moving train, where he carried out a series of jumps and flips that left everyone speechless. These types of performances not only require great physical dexterity, but also perfect timing and a connection to the rhythm of the music. With over 4 million followers on Instagram, Nala has become the most famous cat in the world. This adorable feline not only shares her daily life through captivating photographs, but also generates a considerable income, around $15,000 per sponsored post. In addition, Nala has her own line of products and has written a book, making her a true influencer of the animal community. Did you know that spending more than 10 minutes on the toilet is not good for your health? According to a study, the recommended time for evacuation should not exceed 5 minutes. When we sit on the toilet for long periods, we may be putting our health at risk. This practice can trigger problems such as hemorrhoids, which are uncomfortable and painful. Imagine the thrill of capturing wildlife up close. These cages are tools used by National Geographic and BBC cameramen, designed to safely observe the movements of bears in their natural habitat. Watch as this mother and her 2 cubs challenge the environment around them, putting their instincts and skills to the test. Let's talk about quirky. Did you know that Byron Slinker has the world's widest tongue? It measures 8.6 centimeters. The same size as a credit card. And in an unexpected twist, some medical centers are using virtual reality headsets to distract children during injections. Imagine a character placing a magic gem in the child's arm right at the moment of the injection, turning a dreaded moment into a joyful experience. Now check out these floating leaves in the water. Wait, they're not leaves. They're called soya fish. And while their name isn't very impressive, their camouflage is impressive. If you like to animate, there's a website that lets you bring your kids' drawings to life. All you need to do is take a photo with a white background, upload it, and choose from a variety of preset animations. It's digital magic. In the realm of technology, Steve Gerald captured the stunning shots of the Firehouse UPS Mall. Go behind the scenes and find out how these images are created. And if you thought a jewelry cooler was unnecessary, Matt Benedetto has invented it. It connects to the air conditioning and has a hose that is directed at your private parts. Maybe it doesn't sound so crazy during hot summer days. Imagine being on the world's highest swing located in China. With a starting height of 328 feet, you can reach 2,296 feet as you swing down the cliff. And the adrenaline doesn't stop there. You can reach speeds of up to 75 miles per hour. But that's not all. In the world of agriculture, technology is advancing by leaps and bounds. Fully automated robots are revolutionizing apple picking, working without a human having to intervene. The future is here. And if you thought playing soccer was only for the ground, think again. This football match was played at an altitude of more than 3.7 miles aboard a ship in zero gravity, where the team of former footballer Luis Figo won 2-1. Now, if you type cha-cha slide into Google, prepare for the unexpected. Also, augmented reality tattoos are here. With just an app on your phone or special glasses, you can see them come to life. Speaking of visual wonders, at the roundabout in Cedar, Saudi Arabia, the horses seem to move thanks to Barrera's grid animation principle. I can't help but think that, although it is spectacular, it doesn't look very safe. At the airport in San Bartolome, they offer free haircuts. And not far away in Texas, USA, is the largest gas station in the world with 120 pumps. If you like curiosities, mole birds are fascinating. They bury their eggs in the ground, and when the chicks hatch, they must be dug up to a meter deep, a process that can take days. Did you know McDonald's had its own deck of cards? The queen was the burger, and the king was the fries, all to avoid mentioning direct competition. Imagine having built the universe in a Minecraft map in just a month and a half, or seeing an interstellar-style black hole. Nature is also amazing. Check out the pillars of creation and the accumulation of galaxies. And if you like a thrill, you can't miss the wind tunnel in Abu Dhabi, where Christopher Patz and Caroline Tao perform a synchronized flying routine for Red Bull. Life can be a little peculiar, like in Pyongyang, North Korea, where horns sound every day at 6 a.m. to a chilling tune. But let's talk about Saturn's rings. They are thought to have formed when a massive ice moon came too close and was destroyed by the planet's gravitational force, scattering 17,000 trillion tons of ice. Imagine a book that transports you to a three-dimensional world from its two-dimensional pages. That's the magic of this tunnel book from 1830, a work that fascinates and deceives the eye. If we're talking about natural wonders, we can't forget this whale skeleton, located in the middle of the Costa Rican jungle. Wondering how it got there? It was carefully moved by a guide from Corcovado National Park, just a few meters from the beach. Amazing, right? Benedetto Bufalino is an artist who transforms the everyday into the amazing. Imagine seeing a car turned into a ping pong table or a backhoe that turns into a giant fish tank. These types of installations are proof that creativity has no limits. To promote inclusion and cultural diversity, his ego figures come in all colors, even some depicting people with vitiligo, a beautiful way to celebrate our differences. But have you ever felt a chill when looking over the edge of a cliff? This is the Pulpit Rock in Norway, a stunning cliff over 1,968 feet high with no protective barriers. Watching people peer into the abyss can be terrifying. Speaking of amazing creatures, crocodiles have an incredible sense of touch. Through their armored scales, they can sense the world around them. Watch them enjoy a good scratch. Did you know that the world's largest screws, measuring up to 2 meters, are used to anchor solar panels? And here's a fun fact. An engineer decided to use his gaming computer as an oven. He cooked an entire Thanksgiving dinner using a modified liquid cooling system that heated water inside a container. The result didn't look all that appetizing, but it was a fascinating experiment. The largest hand in history belonged to the tallest man, Robert Wadlow. His hand measured 32.4 centimeters from the base to the tip of his middle finger. To put it into perspective, that's considerably larger than the average hand. Did you know that this is how bats go to the bathroom? This curious habit is just one of the many peculiarities of these fascinating creatures. The tallest tree in the world is located in California's National Park. A specimen of the Sequoia sempervirens, nicknamed Hyperion, stands 379 feet tall, 65.6 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty. These old stinky Nike sneakers are, so far, the most expensive shoes ever sold. They fetched an impressive $437,500, making them the first shoe from the brand to achieve such a price. This is the smallest international bridge in the world, separating the countries of Spain and Portugal. It measures just 10.5 feet, or 5 steps away. Did you know that deer shed their antlers? This process, known as demogue, is completely painless for the animal, and they do it at least once a year, which is pretty impressive. Sloths swim 3 times faster than they move on land. Plus, they can slow their heart rate to hold their breath for up to 40 minutes. Who knew they were so skilled? During the 18th century, pine cones were so rare that a single one could cost up to $8,000. In fact, they weren't eaten. They were used as an ornament and symbol of wealth. This is the largest bruise or hematoma anyone has ever suffered. It belonged to Cosman del Sol, a weightlifter who tore a pectoral muscle while trying to break the world bench press record. This is how a mosquito finds and punctures a blood vessel. It expels blood while sucking. It can stay in one place for up to 4 minutes. Believe it or not, our fingerprints are formed before we are born. Fingerprints are formed when a baby is in its mother's womb, around 10 weeks into pregnancy. These fingerprints are unique to each person, meaning that even when you're older, your fingerprints will still be the same as when you were a baby. Pizzas are actually not Italian, but Greek. Although pizza is known as an Italian dish, its origins date back to ancient Greece, where a flatbread was cooked with different ingredients on top. When the Romans conquered Greece, they adopted this idea and brought it to Italy, where it evolved into the pizza we know today. In the 19th century, an inventor named Lamarcus Thompson created the first roller coasters in the United States to offer people a fun and safe alternative to dance halls and bars that, at the time, were considered places of sin. Imagine that roller coasters were born to make people have fun without getting into trouble. Before modern clocks existed, people used hourglasses to measure time. These clocks work by letting the sand slowly fall from one container to another. Once all the sand has fallen, time has passed. The internet that we use today for everything was originally created as a project of the United States Department of Defense in the 1960s. Its goal was to connect computers to share information between the military. The first escalator was patented in 1892 by an inventor named Jesse Reno. Its design was quite rudimentary compared to modern escalators, but it was the beginning of an innovation that we find in almost every shopping mall and subway station today. 0 was not always considered a number. Although 0 is a fundamental part of mathematics today, it was not always this way. The ancient Greeks and Romans did not have a symbol for 0. It was in India around the 5th century that 0 began to be used as a number, and this idea then spread to the rest of the world. Morse code was invented in the 19th century to send messages over long distances using only dots and dashes. It was used to communicate secretly, especially during wars. One observation: cookies and baguettes are basically 2 types of bread. My question is, why do cookies get soft if they sit out in the open overnight, while baguettes get hard? It doesn't make sense. Well, cookies happen to be sugary bread. The sugar and salt in them absorb moisture from the atmosphere, which makes them soft. Baguettes, on the other hand, don't have much salt or sugar, so they don't attract water and just dry out. Now, super glue will stick anything, but how come it doesn't stick to the packaging? That's because the glue needs some compound with hydrogen in it to polymerize. There's only oxygen in the packaging and no water, but there's a lot of moisture outside. That explains why it always sticks so much to your fingers. They're warm and quite moist. You've probably cried at least once while chopping an onion. Why does this happen? Onions and garlic contain amino acids. One of their compounds breaks down when cut and becomes an irritant. When it comes into contact with water, especially with your eyes, they release tears to wash away the irritant, and that's why you cry. There are a couple of tricks to avoid this. When you cut an onion, put a sugar cube between your teeth. It will absorb the irritant. Another trick is to hold a bit of bread between your lips, which can also help. Now, why do you see things when you rub your eyes? These colors and shapes are called phosphins. You see them because when you rub your eyes, you increase the pressure in your eyeballs and activate the neurons in the retina that process visual information. Once activated, your brain interprets that you are seeing something. When you don't get enough sleep or are simply too tired, you end up with dark circles. Do you want to know why? The skin under your eyes is very thin, so its blood vessels are very close to the surface, and you can easily notice any differences. When you lack sleep, your skin becomes paler and the blood vessels are even more visible. That's why you can see dark circles peeking through your skin. Also, with age, the skin naturally becomes thinner, so older people tend to have dark circles. If you're young, try to get more sleep. 16% of women are born with blonde hair, while 33% of women in general are blonde. The sun releases more energy in 1 second than all the energy consumed by humanity since the beginning of our history. Napoleon Bonaparte, one of the most fascinating figures in history, calculated that the stones used in the construction of the pyramids of Egypt would be enough to erect a huge wall around France. The letter J is the only one that does not appear on the periodic table of elements. This curiosity may seem trivial, but it highlights the fascinating diversity of letters and sounds in our language and how they relate to science. An easy way to distinguish a carnivorous animal from an herbivorous one is to look at the position of its eyes. Carnivores, such as dogs and lions, have their eyes at the front of their heads, which allows them to better locate their prey. In contrast, herbivores, such as birds and rabbits, have their eyes located on the sides. This helps them detect the approach of predators, which is vital for their survival. A person blinks approximately 25,000 times a week. Shockingly, lightning causes more deaths than volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. This data underscores the importance of education and prevention in matters of health and safety. John Rose has made history by becoming the first person to cross the Strait of Messina on a slackline. This strait separates Sicily from Italy, and to achieve this, a 3,987 yards long, just 2 centimeter wide taut line was installed. John completed the crossing in almost 3 hours, staying focused throughout. This is what happens when you put dry ice in water. The reaction creates an impressive cloud of gas that looks like smoke. Dry ice, which is carbon dioxide in a solid state, sublimates, that is, it goes directly from solid to gas when it comes into contact with water. But if you put it in slime, something very curious happens. The bubbles trapped inside the slime start to form, and the effect is completely different, creating a kind of bubbling foam. If you ever find yourself lost in the woods and don't have access to clean water, you can use a simple technique to purify the water you find. You'll need paper, cloth, and a container. Set up the cloth as a filter, and the water passing through it will leave sediment behind. Although this method is slow, it is useful for removing solid particles. However, after filtering, you'll need to boil the water to make sure it's safe to drink, as the filter doesn't remove bacteria. The longest borrowed book to return to a library arrived 288 years later. In 1667, the library at Sydney College loaned a book to Colonel Robert Walpole, but it was never returned. Years later, in 1955, Professor John Plum found it and returned it to the original library, 288 years after it was loaned. This is the world's smallest television. The screen measures just 2.5 centimeters and comes with a built-in USB flash drive, so you can store your favorite videos and shows on it. This innovative technology allows you to enjoy audio-visual content in a surprisingly compact format. Imagine being able to carry a television in your pocket. Its size is ideal for small spaces or for those who want a portable viewing experience. Did you know that Dutch toilets have the hole located at the front? This peculiar feature has generated curiosity about how people sit. It is interesting to see how each country has its own way of approaching bathroom design, taking into account aspects such as comfort and functionality. Mark Banner built a 34 by 34 Rubik's Cube. It took him weeks to print and build it. In total, it has 6,939 3D printed pieces. The complexity of this cube is incredible. Each move requires precision and skill. This challenge is perfect for puzzle lovers and those looking for a different challenge. Who will be the first to solve it? Cristiano Ronaldo and Zlatan Ibrahimovic are the only players to have scored in every minute of a football match. They have goals recorded from the first minute to the 90th. This achievement is a testament to their exceptional skill and consistency on the pitch. Have you ever seen a caterpillar swim? I didn't know they could either. Caterpillars are fascinating creatures that can surprise us with their abilities. Their life is a cycle of transformation that reminds us of the beauty of nature. These kinds of curiosities help us appreciate the world around us more and keep our curiosity alive. Did you know that in the past there were vending machines where you could watch movies? They were called mutoscopes, and they offered a series of consecutive images that gave the illusion of movement. These machines were popular and lasted about a minute, providing instant entertainment. Nicolas Barrios and David Peru made the tallest bicycle in the world. It is made of steel and measures the same as a two-story house, almost 26 feet. This incredible feat is an example of human creativity and engineering. Watching it ride is an impressive spectacle. It requires great skill and balance on the part of the cyclist. Did you know that in Japan it became fashionable to make rice balls with your armpits? That's right. This curious trend arose after appearing in a famous manga. The idea may seem a little strange, but many are intrigued by trying new things. Imagine enjoying a rice ball made this way. Speaking of unique experiences, you can now stay in the iconic house of Carl and Ellie from the movie Up. This is a collaboration between Pixar and Airbnb to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the film. The incredible thing is that the house is adorned with 8,000 balloons. But don't be fooled. These balloons are not the ones holding the house in the air. There is a crane that keeps it 49 feet above the ground. Have you ever heard of the tornado omelet? It is a popular dish in South Korea that looks impressive. The way they prepare it is quite a spectacle, from the flipping of the omelet to the ingredients flying through the air. Watching it in action is a mouth-watering experience. You should definitely try making it sometime. Now let's travel back in time to the Titanic. A bottle of wine rescued from its wreckage was auctioned off for a whopping $1.4 million. Can you imagine what that expensive wine tastes like? Its value comes not only from its history, but also from the mystery surrounding it. Moving on to another topic, did you know that sleeping poorly for just 2 nights can make you feel up to 4 years older? Unbelievable but true. Lack of sleep affects both our physical and mental health. Now, if you've ever wanted to try the famous Star Wars blue milk, you'll be happy to know that it's produced by Vanta females, and you can now buy it at the supermarket. A delicious way to bring a piece of the galaxy to your table. A taste of the unknown occurred in 2012 in the Gulf of Mexico, where a camera at an oil rig captured surprising images of a creature that had never been seen by the human eye. This unusual species turned out to be a giant jellyfish known as Diphysa enigmatica. Speaking of depths, did you know that the average depth of the ocean is 2.3 miles? To put it into perspective, this is equivalent to stacking 37 Eiffel Towers on top of each other. Not even the highest mountain on the planet, Everest, reaches that depth. But why don't we explore our oceans instead of staying on the surface? At these depths, sunlight doesn't reach, as it only illuminates the ocean up to 328 feet below the surface. This leaves the rest of the ocean in eternal darkness. You may have noticed that the deeper fish and animals live in the sea, the larger they tend to be. Some examples of this are the colossal squid, which can reach up to 15 yards in length compared to its surface-dwelling version, or the giant crab, which can measure up to 4 yards. Another example is the oarfish, which can also reach up to 12 meters in length. Did you know there is an airline for dogs? This initiative is a dream come true for animal lovers, as it allows pets to travel comfortably alongside their owners. The aircraft is designed specifically for them, with capacity for 15 dogs and their companions. Imagine a flight where your furry best friend has their own relaxation space, treats, anti-stress jackets, and noise-canceling earmuffs. Not only does this provide comfort for dogs, but it also reduces their anxiety when flying, a common concern among pet owners. Traveling can be stressful for animals, and this type of service seeks to make every flight a pleasant experience. Tammy Manis has the longest mullet in the world, measuring 1.72 centimeters. This stunning hairstyle is not only a feat in the fashion world, but also stands out for its peculiar origin. The outfit is made from mustache hair from hundreds of people, a fact that can be both astonishing and disturbing to some. The creation of this mullet was part of a campaign aimed at raising awareness about men's health, a powerful message that seeks to highlight the importance of self-care and overall health. Wearing such an outfit is not only a fashion statement, but also a symbol of a social movement that promotes health and well-being. Have you ever found yourself with a drawer full of batteries, not knowing which ones are charged? There's a surprisingly simple trick to check their charge. All you need to do is drop the battery from a low height in an upright position. If it's full, it will bounce quite a bit. If it's almost empty, it will barely bounce. This is because when used, chemical reactions inside the battery produce zinc oxide, which is flexible and bounces back. The more used the battery is, the more zinc oxide it has, which means the more bounce it will have. However, remember to never do this with damaged or leaked batteries, and avoid doing it with car batteries. If you've ever wondered what the little pocket on jeans is for, the answer has to do with history. This tiny pocket was originally designed to hold a pocket watch, which was very popular in the 19th century. The high location of the pocket allowed easy access to the watch, which was secured with a chain. Although it is mostly used for coins or small items today, its original purpose reminds us of a time when pocket watches were the norm. Many of us have used two-sided erasers in school, believing that the blue side was for erasing ink. However, the blue side is not primarily designed for that. It is actually made to remove darker pencil marks on high-quality paper. The myth that the blue side can erase ink has become popular, but the truth is that its gritty texture is meant for specialty papers. As companies adopted this confusion as part of their marketing, the idea that the blue side was an ink eraser became entrenched, even though its correct use is for pencil. Have you ever wondered why many cartoon characters wear gloves? This is most evident in older animations, where characters like Mickey Mouse wore them. Before 1929, the character's hands were visible, and in one of Mickey's earliest animations, Steamboat Willie, he didn't wear gloves. It was starting with the open house that animators began drawing them. The main reason was to highlight the hands, since in the era of black and white cartoons, viewers had a hard time distinguishing the black hands and feet against the characters' bodies. White gloves helped make the hand movements more visible and made the characters look more human. For example, the early drawings of Aladdin and Jasmine look radically different from their versions in the film. Disney wasn't just making feature-length fairy tale films. During World War II, they made animated shorts like The Face of the Fuhrer, which featured Donald Duck ridiculing Hitler and the Nazis. After the war, the US government commissioned Disney to make several educational videos on a variety of topics, including hygiene and tuberculosis. Now let's talk about the kuka melon, a rather unique fruit. Originally from Mexico, this little natural treasure is about the size of a grape, but its appearance is that of a miniature watermelon. Its green striped skin is attractive, but what's really surprising is its flavor. which is reminiscent of a sour cucumber. This fruit is not only delicious, but it's also rich in nutrients. It contains fiber, minerals, and various vitamins that are beneficial to health. In addition, the kuka melon is a versatile ingredient in the kitchen and can be used in salads, sauces, and even desserts. An astronomical phenomenon worthy of admiration occurred in December 2008. The Moon, Jupiter, and Venus aligned in the sky, forming what many called a happy face. This celestial spectacle was not only a visual delight, but was also a reminder of the beauty and complexity of the universe in which we live. The alignment of these three celestial bodies is a rare event and provides an excellent opportunity for astronomy enthusiasts and the curious alike. In the realm of innovation, a revolutionary invention has emerged that is changing our relationship with plastic. This product resembles a conventional plastic bag, but is completely eco-friendly. It is made from cassava, a tropical plant that disintegrates in water and is completely edible. This invention not only reduces the amount of plastic thrown into our oceans, but also offers a viable alternative for those looking for sustainable solutions. Did you know that the visual difference between 2.26 kilograms of fat and 2.26 kilograms of muscle is striking? While muscle is dense and compact, fat has a more spongy and voluminous appearance. Not only is this comparison interesting from an aesthetic perspective, but it also reveals how the human body stores and uses energy. Did you know that you can stack emojis on your iPhone to create fun compositions? Although this feature is currently only available in iMessage, it allows users to get creative by combining different emojis into a single message. This fun feature adds a new level of personalization and expression in messaging, allowing people to express their emotions and moods in a unique way. Fireflies are particularly fascinating because they use specific patterns of light to communicate with each other during courtship. India is known for its extreme cultural diversity, with over 2,000 ethnic groups and more than 1,600 languages spoken across the country. Each region has its own traditions, festivals, and unique cuisine. For example, Diwali is one of the most important festivals in India. It celebrates the victory of good over evil with lights and fireworks. The Rocky Mountains are a stunning mountain range that stretches from Canada to New Mexico in the United States. With peaks that rise over 4,000 meters, these mountains offer spectacular scenery and are a popular destination for outdoor activities such as hiking and skiing. Biodiversity within Rocky Mountain National Park includes iconic species such as grizzly bears and moose. These animals are vital to maintaining the ecological balance within the park. In addition, their blood is blue due to a protein called hemocyanin that carries oxygen. This allows them to survive in extreme conditions where other animals could not. Located on Middle Island, Australia, Lake Hillier is famous for its vibrant pink color. Unlike other bodies of water that exhibit this phenomenon due to the presence of algae or bacteria, Lake Hillier's color is due to a combination of salinity and the presence of specific microorganisms. Surrounded by a dense eucalyptus forest, this lake is a visual spectacle that attracts tourists and scientists alike. In Turkmenistan, there is a gas crater known as the Gateway to Hell. This fiery hole was created in 1971 when Soviet geologists ignited a natural gas well to prevent the spread of toxic gases. Since then, the crater has been on fire. In Spain, specifically in Valencia, the Battle of the Flowers is celebrated during Fallas. This event consists of throwing flowers between attendees and participants in a festive atmosphere. The tradition symbolizes the arrival of spring and is a unique way to celebrate local culture. One of the world's largest festivals dedicated to ice and snow takes place in Harbin, China. During this event, sculptors create stunning works of art using blocks of ice and snow. LED lights illuminate the sculptures, creating a magical landscape that attracts thousands of visitors every year. Ingenuity, the tiny shoebox-sized helicopter, made history as the first drone to fly on Mars. This groundbreaking feat occurred on April 19, 2021, when Ingenuity lifted off from the Martian surface, rising a few meters above the Martian soil before returning to solid ground. This short but significant flight marked a milestone in space exploration and opened up new possibilities for scientific research on the red planet. There is a type of crab that has one claw much larger than the other. This one is named fiddler crab because of the shape of its claw, which resembles the body of a violin. Males of this species have one large claw and one small claw. The large claw, which is much more showy, is used by males for competitions for territory and mating, and the small claw, although less showy, is the strongest and is used for feeding. Disc golf, also known as disc golf or frisbee golf, is a sport that combines elements of traditional golf with the throwing of flying discs. In this sport, players throw discs designed specifically for this sport from a teeing area into a series of holes that are usually marked by metal baskets or netted posts. The objective is to complete each hole in as few throws as possible, just like in traditional golf. Kombucha is a fermented drink of ancient origin that is obtained from the fermentation of sweetened tea with a colony of bacteria and yeast known as SCOBY, similar to a gelatinous disc, and can give rise to unusual comparisons, such as an alien. The famous Apple logo, the bitten apple, was created to avoid it being confused with a cherry. Originally, the idea was to represent a whole apple. However, the decision was made to bite it to avoid confusion with another fruit, the cherry. Setenil de las Bodegas is a beautiful village located in the province of Cadiz, in Spain, with a unique architecture. Many of the houses are literally located under large rocks and cliffs. The Petronas Towers in Malaysia were the tallest buildings in the world from 1996 to 2004. Did you know that there is a bamboo bicycle? The bamboo bicycle is an ingenious and eco-friendly creation. Its main frame is made of bamboo canes, a light and resistant material, which is joined together using artisanal and modern techniques. Did you know that there are also bicycles for 3 people? The tandem bicycle is a special variant of bicycle designed to be ridden by 2 or more people. It usually has 2 seats, although sometimes it has up to 3 seats and pedals accordingly, allowing cyclists to pedal together in harmony. Rihanna is originally from Barbados and is a cultural and tourism ambassador for the island. Born in Barbados in 1988, Rihanna not only brings the island's talent to the world stage, but has also maintained strong ties to promoting tourism, community projects, and charitable causes in Barbados. In Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat, France, there is one of the most expensive and beautiful houses in the world called Villa Les Cèdres. This has been purchased by a Ukrainian tycoon for 200 million euros. The tallest man alive today is Sultan Kösen. Born in 1982 in Turkey, Sultan Kösen reached an impressive height of 2.51 meters. The airport in Funchal, Madeira, Portugal is known because it was renamed Cristiano Ronaldo International Airport. The Tri-Point, also known as the Tri-Point Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, is a unique place where the borders of 3 countries converge: Austria, Slovakia, and Hungary. This point is located on the Danube River near the city of Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia. What makes this place particularly special is that there is a restaurant located right on the riverbank, where you can sit and enjoy a meal while having a panoramic view of all 3 countries. There is a hotel in Churchill, Manitoba, Canada, known as the Polar Bear Hotel, where guests can observe polar bears from the safety of their room. The oldest internet domain still active is symbolics.com, registered on March 15, 1985. In Singapore, Changi Airport has a 40-meter indoor waterfall, the world's tallest indoor waterfall at an airport. The quahog clam, which lives in the North Atlantic and North Pacific Oceans, is one of the world's longest living animals, able to live for more than 400 years. The highest recorded horse jump was 2.47 meters, performed by a horse named Huaso X Faithful in Chile in 1949. The durian fruit, known for its strong and peculiar smell, is banned in many hotels and public transport systems in Southeast Asia due to its unpleasant aroma. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa and the 7th most populous in the world. It is also known for having a vibrant film industry known as Nollywood. which produces films at a rate second only to Bollywood and Hollywood. The most well-known and iconic Nollywood film is Nollywood Queen, otherwise known as Living in Bondage. This film, directed by Chris Obi Rapu, was released in 1992 and marked the beginning of the Nigerian film industry as we know it today. Living in Bondage tells the story of a young man who engages in dark rituals to achieve material success, facing the consequences of his actions. The city of Yazd in Iran is famous for its wind towers, known as bad gears, whose main purpose is to harness cool winds and channel them into buildings, providing welcome relief from the scorching summer heat in this desert region. These are built from local materials such as mud and brick, and their conical or cylindrical shape is designed to capture even the faintest breeze. Airbus and Audi have collaborated on the development of an autonomous air taxi concept known as Pop-Up Next. It is billed as a hybrid vehicle between an electric car and a drone, designed to ease traffic congestion in cities and provide a faster and more efficient urban mobility solution. The vehicle features an electric ground driving module developed by Audi, which can be attached to an autonomous drone manufactured by Airbus to hover through the air. In India, henna painting on brides is an iconic tradition. On the wedding day, the bride's hands and feet are decorated with intricate henna designs that symbolize love and good fortune. Did you know that there is an animal that has red eyes? Yes, the famous tree frog. This frog is known for its large red eyes and ability to camouflage itself in its surroundings. It also has webbed toes and a disc-shaped structure at the tips of its fingers that allows it to easily climb and grab onto tree leaves and branches. Catalina de Arauso, also known as La Monja Alferez, was a female nun who disguised herself as a man, becoming a soldier for almost 2 decades in the 17th century. The margherita pizza was invented in Naples, Italy, and was created in honor of Queen Margherita of Savoy. Pharaoh ants, also known as Monomorium pharaonis, are small but incredibly resourceful. When they encounter obstacles in their path, such as pools of water or cracks in the ground, these ants deploy an amazing strategy to overcome them. They create living bridges using their own bodies. The ants begin to form a living chain, interconnecting with each other using their jaws and legs. In Iceland, Christmas is celebrated with 13 Yule lad, meaning Christmas elves, who bring gifts or punishments to children during the 13 nights before Christmas. The Yule lads are children of the feared giants Grýla and Lepaludi, who also have their own story in Icelandic mythology. Each of the 13 Yule lads has their own personality and brings with them a different peculiarity during the nights before Christmas. For example, Stekkjastaur, the sheep herder, is known for scaring sheep and is the first to arrive on December 12th. Then there is also Giljagar, who hides in stables and steals milk from cows. In China, there is a staircase on Taihang Mountain that is considered the most dangerous in the world. It is carved into the side of an 800-meter-high cliff. Accessing the staircase requires courage and determination, as visitors must brave a steep and dangerous climb with only a rusty metal railing as protection between them and the abyss that stretches below. The vanilla plant produces a vanilla pod, which is the second most expensive spice after saffron due to its laborious cultivation process. During World War II, the Japanese launched more than 9,000 fire balloons into the jet stream toward North America, hoping to start forest fires. Shinjuku Station in Japan is the busiest station in the world, with more than 3 million people a day passing through its halls. In Fez, Morocco, tanneries still exist, historic sites where the traditional process of treating animal skins into leather takes place, and the leather made in Fez is considered some of the finest in the world. In 1804, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark led a U.S. government-funded expedition to explore the newly acquired Louisiana Purchase territory. They were the first Americans to cross the continent to the west. There is an area between Egypt and Sudan called Bir Tawil that is not claimed by any country, making it one of the few no-man's lands in the world. The Fallingwater House, also known as Fallingwater, is designed by architect Frank Lloyd Wright and is an icon of modern architecture. Built over a waterfall in Bear Run, Pennsylvania, the house seems to blend seamlessly with the surrounding nature. The pangolin is the only mammal with scales, and they are made of keratin, the same as our nails and hair. And what's more, its tongue is very surprising, which is long and sticky and is an impressive tool for collecting ants and termites, which are the pangolin's main food. On the shores of Lake Titicaca, there is Aramu Maru, better known as the Door of the Gods. It is a 7-meter rock-carved structure found in southern Peru. The local legend surrounding the Door of the Gods speaks of a portal to another dimension or even to the world of the gods. It is said that those who venture through this portal may experience interdimensional travel or encounters with divine entities. The sea dragon is a fascinating marine fish that belongs to the same family as seahorses and pipefish. It has a long, slender body covered in filaments and leaf-like appendages that resemble seaweed for camouflage. Like seahorses, the male sea dragon is responsible for incubating the eggs deposited by the female on its abdomen. The Zundap Janus is a very peculiar car that was produced by the German company Zundap between 1957 and 1958. What makes the Janus so unique is its symmetrical design, which features doors at both ends of the vehicle, allowing passengers to enter and exit from either side. The Toyota company produces more cars than any other automotive company in the world. It is estimated that it manufactures around 10 million vehicles each year worldwide. There is the species of black swans. The black swan is native to Australia and is recognized by its distinctive plumage, its red beak, and its gray legs. These majestic birds inhabit wetlands, rivers, lakes, and estuaries. Hurling is a traditional sport of Irish origin that combines elements of different sports. From football, since you must score goals to win. From rugby, because you can make tackles, and there is the scrum. And from hockey, because of the use of sticks to hit the ball. Did you know that beet juice exists? It is obtained by squeezing or blending beets and is a refreshing and nutritious drink with a sweet, strong taste and different from more conventional drinks. Japan is home to the longest pedestrian suspension bridge in the world, the Kokonoe Bridge on the island of Kyushu, which spans 390 meters over a deep gorge. In the desert of Mauritania, dozens of abandoned ships lie in the sand, creating a surreal and mysterious landscape. It is believed that the ships were abandoned in the 1980s due to lack of access to the sea. The beluga whale is known to be the canary of the sea, an aquatic singer. This is a species of small cetacean that lives in the Arctic and the subarctic region. In addition, they swim in shallow waters, which allows them to get close to the coast. And not only do they come close to the coast, being a very curious animal, they also approach ships looking for company. Did you know that there is an animal similar to the anteater, but much larger? The giant anteater is an animal that can measure 2 meters in length, twice as long as the common anteater. It is important to clarify that despite their name, anteaters are not related to true bears and that they belong to the sloth family. The Holi festival is a Hindu celebration of spring that involves throwing colored powder at people, symbolizing the victory of good over evil and the arrival of spring. The Kowloon Walled City in Hong Kong is a labyrinthine and chaotic complex of buildings. The buildings are superimposed on each other, creating an urban labyrinth like no other. This is all because at one point in its history, Kowloon City operated with virtually no formal government or laws. George Clooney owns a villa in Italy called Villa Oleandra on Lake Como. The villa features stunning gardens, a pool overlooking the lake where you can enjoy peace and privacy. Deep in the jungle off the island of Madagascar lives a hunter unknown to many, the fossa. This carnivorous predator, with its elegant silhouette and graceful movements, is the largest carnivore in Madagascar and is a formidable hunter, able to take down prey larger than itself and climb trees with ease. The winery with the largest wine collection in the world is the Milesti Mici in Moldova. This winery has around 2 million bottles of wine and has around 200 kilometers of tunnels like the ones we see here. The oldest restaurant in the world is the Botín restaurant, which is located in Madrid and opened its doors in 1725. The Canadian flag has a maple leaf instead of a star or a shield. This choice is due to the fact that the maple leaf is a very important symbol for Canada, being a native tree of this country that is widely distributed throughout its territory. On the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean, lies the Earth of Seven Colors. This landscape, located in the village of Chamarel, is made up of sand dunes of different colors that stretch over 7 hectares. Dua Lipa is trilingual. Born in London to Albanian parents, Dua Lipa not only inherited musical talent, but also the richness of linguistic diversity in her home, as she can speak English, Albanian, and Spanish. Indonesia is home to the largest number of mammal species in the world, including the Sumatran orangutan, Javan rhinoceros, and Sumatran tiger. Romania has one of the oldest and best-preserved forests in Europe, known as the Hoia Baciu Forest. This forest is famous for its paranormal phenomena and UFO sightings. In Alaska, United States, there is a small town called Whittier, where most of the residents live in a single building known as the Begich Towers. This building houses housing, a school, a grocery store, and other services, all under one roof. In the 2010 census, it gave that this town has 220 inhabitants. Paris Hilton is a public figure, an heiress of the Hilton hotel chain. She is a member of the famous Hilton family, which owns the eponymous hotel chain. Although her last name is closely linked to the hotel industry, Paris Hilton has forged her own path in the world of entertainment and business. She became a media phenomenon in the late 1990s and early 2000s, thanks to her extravagant lifestyle and appearances on reality shows such as The Simple Life, where she starred alongside her then best friend, Nicole Richie. The Davis Divan was an automobile manufactured in the United States in the 1940s, notable for its quirky and unconventional design. The Davis Divan featured a 3-wheel design with 1 wheel in the front and 2 in the back, giving it a distinctive, futuristic appearance. Additionally, it had a streamlined aluminum body and a spacious cabin with seating for 6 people arranged in a divan-like fashion, hence its name. Oreo cookies were introduced in 1912 and have maintained their original design. The original recipe and design for Oreo cookies were created by the National Biscuit Company, or Nabisco, which later merged with Kraft Foods, now called Mondelez International. Do you know of an annual event in Germany that celebrates Krampus, the demonic companion of Saint Nicholas? Nicholas? For those who are not familiar, Krampus is a mythological figure who represents the demon who punishes bad children during Christmas, in contrast to Saint Nicholas, who rewards good children. This is an annual event where people dress up as Krampus and parade through the streets, scaring and delighting crowds. In Hungary, it is forbidden to make toasts. The rafflesia is the largest flower in the world. This impressive flower can reach a diameter of up to 1 meter, making it one of the wonders of nature. Native to the rainforests of Southeast Asia, particularly countries such as Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and the Philippines, the flower takes months to develop, and once it is ready to bloom, it emits a strong, unpleasant odor, similar to that of rotting meat. This foul odor attracts scavenging insects, such as flies and beetles, which are responsible for pollinating the flower. The quetzal is an iconic bird that inhabits the lush jungles of Guatemala and other parts of Central America that is characterized by the great length of its tail, which can reach a length of up to 1 meter. Mammatus clouds are a special type of cloud that are characterized by their distinctive bag-like appearance. These cloud formations are often seen at the base of thunderstorms. Civita di Bagnoregio is a village in Italy that is slowly sinking into the ground. This charming place stands out for its unique location on top of a clay hill. Over the centuries, erosion and earthquakes have caused its slow sinking into the ground. The constant erosion of the clay hill on which this village sits has led to its gradual sinking. This phenomenon has made access to the village more difficult. In Iceland, the Jökulsá á Fjöllum River forms an impressive waterfall known as Dettifoss, the most powerful waterfall in Europe. The Dettifoss waterfall has a drop of approximately 45 meters and a width of 100 meters. It is known for its extremely high flow rate and powerful water flow. The Toyota logo depicts a human eye looking into the future and towards the endless technology of Toyota. Did you know that Natalie Portman was born in Jerusalem, Israel, and holds dual Israeli and American citizenship? The Volkswagen Beetle, one of the most iconic cars, was designed by Ferdinand Porsche, the father of the man who founded the Porsche sports car brand. Ferdinand Porsche was a renowned Austro-Hungarian engineer who was behind the design of the Volkswagen Beetle on behalf of the Nazi regime in the 1930s, who were looking for an affordable and simply designed car for the German masses. However, Ferdinand Porsche did not found the Porsche sports car brand. The Porsche sports car brand was founded by Ferdinand Porsche's son, Ferdinand Ferry Porsche, in 1948 when he launched the 356 model, and is known today for its high-performance sports cars. The oldest airline in the world, to the surprise of many, is KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, which was founded in 1919. The largest castle in a cave is Pajama Castle in Slovenia, which was built in the 13th century. It was built on this site in order to protect its back from potential enemies. Georgina Bloomberg, a well-known American equestrian who competed in show jumping for many years, is the daughter of media mogul and former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Michael owns Bloomberg LP, a technology company that focuses on financial advice, software and data, and also operates Bloomberg News, which provides business news. In 1937, the German airship Hindenburg caught fire while attempting to land in Lakehurst, New Jersey, during a transatlantic flight. The accident resulted in the deaths of 36 people and marked the end of the era of airships as a form of commercial transportation. In India, there is a temple dedicated to rats called Karni Mata, where rats are worshipped and allowed to roam freely around the temple. The largest glacier on Earth is located in Antarctica and is called the Lambert Glacier. It is more than 60 miles wide at its widest point. In the town of Coober Pedy, Australia, much of the population lives in underground houses to escape the extreme heat of the desert. About 60% of the inhabitants seek shelter from the high temperatures in underground structures. The largest opal mines on the planet are located in these areas, and about 2/3 of the 3,000 residents subsist on mining-related jobs. The horses can sleep both lying down and standing up, thanks to a locking mechanism in their joints that allows them to stand upright without effort. Sea otters sleep by floating on the surface of the water to avoid being caught by predators while they rest. The Mississippi alligator is a reptile that has been around since the age of the dinosaurs and has remained virtually unchanged for millions of years. The antlion is a species of insect that builds funnel-shaped sand traps to catch its prey, which includes other small insects. These are designed to fool other small insects that walk through the sand. The antlion buries itself partially under the sand in wait, while holding its jaw open, ready to catch any prey that falls into its trap. Sign language is a complete and complex language with its own grammar and structure, not just a system of gestures. The musk deer is the world's most cold-resistant mammal, able to survive in temperatures as low as -50 degrees Celsius. The largest star known to date is UY Scuti, which has a diameter of approximately 1.7 thousand times that of the Sun. The first mobile phone with an integrated camera, the JS04, was launched by the Japanese company Sharp in 2000. It featured a 640 by 480 pixel VGA camera on the back of the phone, allowing users to take low-resolution but still meaningful photos. The world's deadliest venom is that of the Australian inland taipan snake. The Helix Bridge in Singapore is a pedestrian bridge located in Marina Bay, Singapore, and has a unique helical structure that resembles DNA. It is famous for its innovative architectural design and for offering stunning views of the city. The peculiar town of Barrel, situated on the border between Belgium and the Netherlands, is known for its territorial division, where the boundaries between the two countries are marked by lines that snake through streets, buildings, and even rooms. In Barle, it is possible to find situations where a house is divided between Belgium and the Netherlands, with a line painted on the ground clearly delineating the borders. The Mandarin duck is the most colorful duck in the world. These ducks have a clear sexual dimorphism, the males being especially striking, with bright colors on their head and body, including shades of orange, white, green, and blue. The females have a normal brown color. The Paris catacombs are a network of underground tunnels located beneath the city of Paris, France. These tunnels are known to house underground ossuaries containing the skeletal remains of millions of people. The catacombs were converted into a burial site in the 18th century, when the city's cemeteries became unsanitary and overcrowded. In Japan, it is common for companies to have places where employees can take a nap. Studies say that taking short naps during the day improves concentration, creativity, etc. The kakapo, also known as the lettuce parrot, is a nocturnal parrot native to New Zealand, which is distinguished from other parrots by its surprising size. The kakapo is the heaviest parrot in the world, reaching up to 4 kilograms. What curious fact has surprised you the most? Leave your opinion in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more content of Zarpado.